What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start this show by being transparent. And yesterday, I went 1-1. My top play was the Grizzlies plus 7.5. They ended up winning the game outright, so slightly profitable. I did lose on Tari Eason over 1.5 threes. Didn't even get an attempt after the first quarter. So slightly profitable day. Good to be back here with you, Rob Veno. How's everything on your end?
Things are good, Skee. We had a 3-1 yesterday, 1-0 from the NBA. The play that we left here, the Sixers team total over. I think they were into the 70s at halftime against the Clippers, who it's a couple times in a row now. Their last two back to backs, the second end of the back to back, they have not come up roses defensively. So I'll keep my eye on that. We see now that maybe James Harden's going to be shipped out of there, so maybe that had something to do with it. But we'll take that win. And then in college, we had a 2-1, and I thought I was on my way to 3-0 with Texas Tech up 59-50 with about 3 minutes left, and then KU came off the top rope and made sure I didn't sweep the college board. So we'll take 3-1 though. It was a good day.
Absolutely. We just got a trade. They're letting us know in the chat. Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Jazz for 3 first-round picks. To the Jazz? The Jazz they're trying to. I mean, that's crazy to me. 3 first-round picks from the Jazz for Jaren Jackson Jr. I mean, I guess he's nice next to marketing. I don't know. You know what you think about that?
Well, yeah, I thought the same thing at
Well,
first with Markkinen
don't
and
forget about
George.
Kessler too. Actually,
Yeah, and Walker Kessler coming. That front line could be really good, huh? Rebounding Jackson and rim protection. Jackson, Kessler, Markkinen to stretch defenses. George coming on the way he is in the backcourt. I guess Utah is trying to get there sooner rather than later, right? If you're giving up three draft choices for, I don't know the age on Jaren Jackson Jr., 29, maybe. He's not that old. So and it's good for Memphis. I'll say that because Memphis isn't just a complete rebuild type thing. So yeah, three firsts for Memphis. I don't know if they're this year or years after, but it's funny, Ski. You and I were just talking about this off air, and it's kind of the reason why we're only going to go through a select few games today.
yeah, trade deadline. You never know what you're going to get throughout the day. You got to be, don't be surprised if you get some more of these trades and things start to change throughout the day. So maybe not a day to load the clip. But as I said, saying that I'll play some player props. I'm not scared of those. Some of these guys don't play. Hey, I'll be all right. But yeah, Utah looking like they're going in the right direction. All right, today's show will be a little bit different. We won't go through every game like we mentioned. We'll do a little bit of the old school NBA style. If you guys can remember, if you were around a few years ago. So, first game we will talk about here today: Nuggets and Pistons. This one opened up -6. Looks like 5 now. Total open 224. Looks like 229. As far as injuries are concerned here, we have Braun questionable, Bates, Gordon, and Cam Johnson out. For the Pistons, I don't see anybody on the injury report. They got a full go for tonight. You know, this this Pistons team, I want to say they weren't playing the best of basketball, but they have started to. Maybe it's that they're playing in close games. Let me actually just pull this up because I know they've won some of these games. It's the first of a back to back for the Nuggets. It says here they will play the Knicks tomorrow in Madison Square Garden. So I'll ask you, I'll start with that. Do you think the Nuggets maybe look ahead here to playing in Madison Square Garden, or you think the Pistons have their attention here tonight?
I think the Pistons have their attention for sure. I don't think that Jokic ever overlooks a game. We'll see if they choose to load manage tomorrow, but it doesn't look like they're going to do so today. I know Christian Brown is expected back sometime soon, probably not tonight, but they're as healthy as they've been in quite a while. I mean, still missing Aaron Gordon, but talked about Peyton Watson a lot on the show and how he's filled some shoes here really, really well. I think Denver plus the points is the way I'm looking here, Ski against Detroit. Um, the Pistons, they got that, what was it, 60-point win or something over Brooklyn the other night. Brooklyn's lineup was just a disaster, and the Pistons took full advantage. But it's not going to be that easy against Denver now. Denver's off of the loss to OKC, so I think there's a little bit of that on their mind. I think situationally, it sets up a little bit for Denver here. They've got some revenge because Detroit went to Denver when Jokic was out and beat him. So now Denver could come back with Jokic and maybe return the favor. Whether they win outright or not, I just feel like 5.5, 6 is a lot to give Denver in any circumstance. So for me, and this was a tough one with total too for me, Ski, because Detroit's, they're a solid defensive team. And I just feel like when Denver is asked to step up, they can step up a little bit defensively. That being said, money has all come in on over 224 up to 229. But the point spread has come down now from 6. I'm seeing some 5s start to flash here in front of me. Looks like a universal 5, maybe. There's a couple of straight 5.5s if you shop it close. Some spots that are readily available to folks across the U.S. and around the world. So I'm going to side with Denver here. Not a play that I made yet, but I think it's one that I'm going to end up getting to, the Nuggets plus the points.
I would agree with you. I also would look towards Duran under his rebound prop tonight of 10.5. You know, I don't think it's the greatest of matchups for a few different reasons. One, he hasn't hit this prop the last 4 meetings versus the Nuggets. And that goes back this season and the past 2 seasons. And I think that's because one, Jokic will take him away from the rim. Like he'll have to guard Jokic out on the perimeter because Jokic can shoot. And two, Jokic is a tough matchup. We know Duran fouls a lot. Duran could be in foul trouble majority of this game. So for those reasons and some others, um, as far as matchup wise, numbers wise, it does say Denver is not allowing the most rebounds to the center position. I like Duran under 10.5 rebounds in this game. All right, Vino, we'll move it over to another one. And that will be, and also, my bad, I did want to mention that I would agree with you because, you got one team who kind of just got embarrassed, losing by double digits versus another team who is, they floated into this matchup after just blowing a team off the earth. So that's why I would agree. Lakers and Nets opened up minus 8.5. Looks like 8.5 or 9, depending where you shop. Total open 222.5. We don't have a whole lot of movement on that. For the injury report, Bronny James is questionable. So is Austin Reeves. Thiero remains out. For the Nets, Highsmith is out. Everybody else looks like they're going to be a go here. Um, and it's the other side of that, right? We the Nets, the team that got blown off the earth, we've seen them once before. They did show up in the following game. Can they show up here versus Lakers squad? What do you think?
Yeah, it's funny that that is like the main thought process in my handicap here, Ski. It's not something that you would generally like to pin your entire bet on, but with the Nets, it's becoming commonplace. They lose 120 to 66 to the Knicks. They come back and push Boston to overtime a couple days later. So that was one blowout. Now they get blown out of 130 to 77. Lakers don't play a ton of defense, so you can get some points here against them. Problem for Nets. Again, I don't know with this trade deadline. I see MPJ's name all over the place in trade talks. It's possible between today or tomorrow. It's hard to guess. You know what I mean? If he's in there and he plays with the LA defense, I would think that Brooklyn can score their share and probably stay under the number because they do have a little bit of bounce back resiliency in them. And I'll say this, because the Nets, I think I'd read this morning, they're the youngest team in the NBA right now. And for young teams to get destroyed and then come back and play really well, it's not uncommon. In fact, it's more of the way for them to have such variance between games. So to me, I'd probably look at the Nets here, thinking that Los Angeles just doesn't play enough defense to warrant being a 9-point road favorite against a team that may be a little, I won't use that word, but a little angry that they got destroyed by so many points by Detroit. Certainly, Detroit's capable of holding them to what they held in 277 because they do play D and crash boards. So and maybe a look at Brooklyn Ski. I didn't play the game, doubt I will.
All right, we can keep going with this one. I would be betting. I would be betting Brooklyn or nothing in this one. Lakers don't play good enough defense for me to expect them to win by that big of a margin. Reeves could come back in and just mess up the flow of things. I do like Rui though. Rui to continue to do whatever he's gonna play hard. He's gonna get attempts in his role. He's doing the little things that they need to help them win. I like Rui PRA tonight in that one. Next game up, we will go Magic and Thunder, and right around. I'm sorry, open 6.5. Looks like 8 or 8.5. Total is right around the opener though. As far as injuries, Castleton and Franz Wagner out. For OKC, a lot of people, man. J Dub and Mitchell both out. Jalen Williams, Chet, Hardenstein, SGA, and Caruso all questionable. I mean, OKC coming off that win versus Denver. Um, I mean, just based off injury report, it doesn't look like they're too interested in playing here tonight, Rob Veno. But you never know. You could get most of these guys rolled in. As it currently stands, I think you'd probably get the better effort out of the Magic. The Magic, we at least know who's playing. Right now, I would lean towards the Magic. What do you think?
Yeah, it seems like Oklahoma City, which hadn't been playing that well, and who knows why. I mean, obviously, the injury list has been pretty full the last 3 weeks or so, but maybe OKC, a little disinterested at this time of year. Ski, maybe they weren't covering numbers. They weren't even winning games against teams they should have blown out. But they certainly had full focus on the Denver game the other night. It's like as if that was the one thing circled on their calendar is we're going to go in there against Jokic and beat that team, and they did. They beat them pretty soundly, and now it looks like with this injury list, maybe they don't care as much. I do think Orlando cares. Lose to San Antonio the other night, kind of. I had Orlando team total in that game over I think 109 and a half, 110, something like that, and they had put up a 40-point second quarter. And I thought, here we go. Should be on our way. We're more than halfway there already. And next thing you know, they're throwing up 18 in the third. Wembenyama defensively, I don't know that we talk about it enough. I know that you talk about it a lot, but just every time you watch this guy, he's a people can't shoot against this guy. It's crazy watching teams try and get shots up against Wemby when he's fully into the game. It's like trying to shoot into a windmill. It just keeps coming at you. And Orlando had their struggles, but I think here they were playing pretty decently after that Miami win. I gave you the quotes. I think you interpreted it for me when Jamal Mosley was talking about what their philosophy is paying off now, and they did score 130 plus 2 games in a row before that San Antonio game. So I think they've got the goods to come up with a point spread cover here. I would look their way.
All right, one more game here before we move over to another segment. Sixers and Warriors opened up -1.5 for the Warriors. Looks like 3 or 3.5. Total went from 219.5 to 221 or 221.5, despite Steph Curry being out tonight. No Steph, no Seth, no Kaminga, no Crier. Embiid also doubtful. Total continues to go up here for Alvino. That's what's standing out to me. I mean, we know the Warriors in general like to play with pace. Um, but I can't help but think a lot of that offense is missing here. For some reason, this one keeps ticking up. I like to think the pace quickens without Embiid as well for the Sixers. What do you think, Sixers and Warriors?
Yeah, there's still a lot of guard wing type offense on Philadelphia. And when when Embiid is out, certainly the rim defense becomes a little bit less. You have Andre Drummond, he'll give you 25 solid minutes, rebounding and whatnot. Adam Bona is a guy I talked about earlier in the year. I kind of like his energy at the rim. But for the Sixers, like I say, Maxi Edgecombe, Oubre, Quentin Grimes, all these guys can still score. These guys are all 20 a game when I mean Grimes, when everybody was hurt last year, was a leading scorer for this team. So they got plenty of firepower here against a very small Golden State team. The back-to-back situation holds me back a little bit, but I have a number for you that might negate any fear that you have of playing Philly on back-to-back. Philadelphia 8-1 against the spread this season with no rest. 10-2 against the spread with any type of rest disadvantage. 8-4 straight up in rest disadvantage games. So not only are they covering, but they're winning 67% of those 12 when they're at a rest disadvantage. And here they are at the rest disadvantage, but they're playing a team that's shallow on the depth chart in the rotation. So Philadelphia looks like, I won with them last night. Team total was really, really easy. It's possible at this price could come back with them. I'm just going to look up the current is again only 109.5. I don't know, Skee. To me, it looks low because I don't think Maxi, Edgecombe, Oubre, Grimes, I don't think those guys ever run out of energy. So I may get there with Philadelphia team total.
Yeah, that's making sense to me. People in the chat liking that as well. City by the Bay. Sorry, he was not on my list of what I was looking at this morning. And I don't want to just stop the show right now to go pull up player props. I just already did a show on player props, so sorry I can't help you with that. Mark asks, is Golden State going to contribute? Well, they're the favorite. If you don't think they're going to contribute, I mean, there's a nice Philadelphia plus 130 waiting on you to push the button. um, so if you don't think they can contribute, maybe Sixers money line is decided to go there. All right, a little bit something. I mean, this show has been different, but we're gonna mix it up even more. Vino, you know about this. You've been around. It's not new to you.
I want to know how many in the chat remember this. This is good.
I don't think anybody, honestly. It's been so long, but
Hmm.
one of my favorites. We're gonna go over to the "That's My Dog" segment.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
My dog. Can I make that? Can I make it big? Oh man, what are we doing here? Messing it up, Rob Vino. For my dog, I'm gonna go with Denver Nuggets. Best number you can get right now is plus 5.5. I like them because they just lost to OKC. Really, teams that have been getting embarrassed, and I say embarrassed, losing by double digits, not covering versus OKC, they usually bounce back in that next spot. And it's the Nuggets' opportunity to bounce back in a spot they've been good in all year. They are 7-1. ATS as a road dog. They've had Detroit's number. I know Detroit's a little better this year, but they beat Detroit 10 of the last 12 head-to-head meetings. The most recent one was a week ago. They did lose that one. It was without Jokic. They only lost by 2 points. The only other loss was in 2022. It was Jokic's first game back after COVID or something like that, and they lost by 2 as well. So I don't think the Pistons have been playing well enough to lay these 5 points. I will go with the Nuggets plus as my dog here, Ravino. For you, what will you rock with as your dog today?
Wow. Let's see here. I will definitely co-sign on the Nuggets, and I think I'll just move to another. There's a couple here, but I think I'll go to a game that we talked about on the show and take Orlando plus 8.5 here against OKC. Even if they don't win, I think they'll play within that number. Oklahoma City, you saw it the other night. The energy level, the focus, the motivation, the post game, how they're kind of level, so to speak, where emotion is concerned all the time. But they were a little bit happy with themselves for beating Denver the way they did. So that injury list, obviously, a lot of those guys could play here tonight. There's just a bunch of questionables. But I think 8.5 still is too much here. I think Orlando bounces back from the San Antonio game the other night. So I'll take Orlando as my dog plus 8.5.
All right, good stuff from Mr. Ravino, and I'll get that figured out. There we go. I get it together. Good stuff from Ravino. Yeah, now we're gonna move it over to best bets. And before I do all that good stuff, there won't be any shot clock for the people who did remember. There were some people out there too, you know.
Were
That's
there? Yeah.
Itachi says big throwback. Patone says, "Hey, that's my dog."
Yeah.
Some people
So
did recognize that one. All right. So before we get to best bets, let's promo a little bit like we usually do. That means we do have what the 10 days of all access for the price of seven. You'll save $69. Um, I think that's a pretty good way to get involved. If you would like a little bit longer, you can do the Super Bowl to Super Bowl all access. It's $99 per month, and you'll get all access every sport from now until next February. So, Vino, I'd like to think that I did an okay job on promo, but if there's anything else that I missed, if there's anything else you'd like to promote, oh, you know what? I didn't do a good enough job. We
there
got $5 Tuesday, right?
you go.
$5 Tuesday. So both Rob Vino and myself have a top play up on our page for $5. If you want to be involved, you guys know where to find it. The link to our page is scrolling on the bottom of the screen. Now, I'm going to pass it to you, Vino. If there's anything else you'd like to promote, feel free. If you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. If you don't, it's all good.
I think promotions are well covered there. Skee, you added the $5 Tuesday in at the end, and the throwback to "That's My Dog." I just thinking about it while you were talking there, and also while you were talking there, I went to my trusty apps and made one play. So that's what I'm going to leave as a best bet because it's the play I bet. We talked it out a little bit here on the show. I was close to making the play. Didn't make it until just now, but I'm going to be on the Sixers team total over 109.5. The whole thing just sets up really well. And I think you get a bargain price on their team total because Embiid is out. That seems to be the contributing factor to why Golden State's gone up from 1 to 3, because certainly Golden State's not going up on their own merits. They're going up on the basis of a team on a back-to-back and without Joel Embiid. And Philly can still score without Joel Embiid. They score in a different way. Joel's been great lately, but I mentioned the four guys and all the speed that they bring to the game. So smallish Golden State team, quick Philadelphia team, and Philly's playing good. I saw a quote. I'm dragging this out a little bit, but I just want to say I saw a quote from, I forget which Philly starter it was. Might have been Maxey, who said they honestly think they have a chance in the East right now. We'll see if they do. The one reason why I hadn't pulled the trigger on this game until just now was I'm worried about Golden State trading, but seriously, that doesn't involve the Philly team total. So that's the reason why I made that bet. Philly team total, best bet over 109.5.
Good stuff, Robino. Tachi says, "Where's the contrarian play today?"
There you go.
Maybe we
And
should
I
get
hated
that.
I hated that. The contrarian gods, and I hated that.
Well, you know what that is now. It's now we've seen this before, Rob. You know.
Yeah, that's true too. I think we rebranded it very well, Skee.
Yeah, we got a different one on here on this show. My best bet. I'm gonna go with Rui over 13.5 PRA. Man, and I should pull this up. I think he's hit this. He's been hitting it like crazy. As long as he gets 22 minutes, which he's getting, as long as it's not a blowout, and as long as he's not just coming back from injury, he's cleared this PRA number. My bad. I'm gonna get it here because I think it's important. So I apologize to you guys for not having it ready. You have to hear me, bullshit for just a second here. But here we go. 22 minutes. He's hit it 16. And let's put max actually. He's hit it 25 out of 32 games so far this season. 13.5 PRA, as long as he's getting 22 minutes. I'm pretty sure he's getting 22 minutes regardless if Reeves comes back tonight or not. He's comfortable in his role. He said that he's going to do the little things to stay on the court with rebound, whatever the case may be. I like Rui over 13.5 points, rebounds, and assists. That's my best bet for the show. There they go. Itachi says, contrarian gods were always on Vino's ass.
Yeah, right, they were. Oh, probably why I hate them guys.
Oh, man. I always appreciate you taking the time to break the games down with me, Vino. Helps my process. I'm sure it helps everybody else out as well. People in the chat, always want to let you know you're appreciated. Great cappers, great people, and you help make the show what it is. So always want to let you guys know that. We will be back again tomorrow. Don't think we'll have this big of a slate. But if we do, we'll still cap it. So best of luck on all your action tonight, and we will catch you all